My 3-year-old daughter looks white, and carries a black doll, calling it her brown baby. Is this okay? Actually, what you could do is give her another black doll, so that she has to figure out a way to distinguish them in another way. Just like she distinguishes her other dolls. My daughter is 5 and has a crush on a caramel-skinned boy with black and brown swirled hair. It's just a descriptor. I say, what's his name? Let's use his name. You don't want to be known as the peach-skinned girl with crazy hair. It's not malicious. She just didn't know how to describe him in another way that stood out. But apparently he laughs like a horse, sneezes all the time, and has blue eyes like the rocks in Nanny's fishbowl, lol. Help her give it a name. My daughter had dolls of several races, sizes, materials, store dolls, cloth dolls, knit dolls. I encouraged her to call them by name, not characteristics like color or size. She had a tendency to call them by their hair color for a while. She thought skin color was irrelevant. Hair color mattered. There's nothing wrong with what your 3-year-old is doing. She doesn't know better and isn't doing anything maliciously, but if overheard in public it could raise uncomfortable questions. Now would be a great time to give the doll a name. And reinforce the name. Brown baby doesn't come sit at the dinner table. But maybe Cassie does. I'd say the same if she had white baby. Okay, well maybe the white baby is called Jessie from now on. Perspective from a white 32-year-old woman with a 100% white family. As far as I'm aware, my point of view is that whilst the name isn't malicious, you don't want to invite awkward questioning. And you shouldn't have to explain your family dynamic to excuse yourself if an awkward situation occurs. LMAO, this would crack me up if I heard a little white baby say that, but maybe I'm just a bad black person. Not a parent. But she'll grow out of calling it brown baby. And most people won't be offended by a toddler calling their doll a weird name. I had 3 favorite dolls when I was little. Big Lucy, Little Lucy, and Butchie. Where did I come up with the last one? No clue. But it's definitely not as weird as my cousin naming his balloons Mr. and Mrs. Happiness. My very blonde and blue-eyed son wanted an African American doll when he was 2. While paying, the cashier at Target asked him if he really wanted to get that. Quote, not sure if her objection was to the gender or race thing, but who cares? Not my issues. He named her Tomato Sweet and carried her everywhere. We talked about how pretty and nice she was. It was adorable. But he's 11 now and well past dolls. Sharing experience. So my brother-in-law is married to a white lady. We are brown. Their kid, age 34 years, who takes after the mother and is white, called his father brown. My bill in fact is on the fairer side of the brown spectrum. And we all understood this happened since that's when my nephew was learning colors. So they gently taught him that to classify any person by any physical attributes is not polite and not right at all. Since then I've never heard their kids call anyone brown, white, fat, thin, whatever. So yes, this could be the right moment to teach this. And definitely don't think you're being a bad parent. The fact you're asking this question totally proves otherwise. Hope this helps. As a former brown baby, I honestly think that's really cute. She's only 3, don't worry about it, smiley face. Kids say things like this. She'll grow out of it. It is a brown doll. It's fine to call it one. Nothing wrong with it really, as she's just a kid and it's not like she's walking around going, this is my N baby. A couple of people said it already, but now would be a good time to teach her about names. Use a few other dolls or teddies etc. for the process too. My family and I are so white we're almost see-through. When my eldest, just about to turn 20, so a while ago, lol, was young, she adored black dolls. Every time we went out, if she saw one in a shop, she'd beg to get the new baby, and if we could, we did. Not because she was spoilt, but because they were few and far between then. Not once, ever, in all the different places we traveled around London and the UK, did we ever get a single person telling us it was offensive that this loud, smiley, mini Marita-looking child was walking around cuddling a black baby doll. If anything, it often brought smiles to people's faces. I know everyone is going to have a different perspective, but this was our reality. I would say that anyone who wants to try and say that she shouldn't have a doll with a different skin color needs to take a good long look at themselves and give their heads a wobble. She's really too little to understand that what she's saying could make people uncomfortable. She's only 3. Give baby a name. Let her choose it. She'll revert to that and all will be fine. We have multiple dolls of different ethnicities in our house and we just gave them names. Mia, Jason, Jessie and Betty. We did just assign them random names ourselves because she's only just learning how to talk. Mine is only 2, but ask her, "Where's baby Jason?" and she'll run off to grab him. Racial descriptors stop being an issue when they're named because the name is how she'll differentiate, not the color. Try having her give them names. She's doing nothing wrong. She's describing the doll quite literally as what it is, a baby doll that's brown. All of the connotations and subtexts are completely unknown to her and do not need to be known to her. The fact is that there is no need to make it verboten, because then you're communicating to her that there's something to be ashamed of in this, and you're focusing that shame on the brown aspect. I lean toward not even addressing it. My niece would say, "Daddy's skin is brown. Mommy's is white and mine is tan." They're just observing things. And you don't want to infer that acknowledging skin color is shameful or inherently bad. The name thing is a good idea if it makes you uncomfortable, but in a child's mind it's no different than saying there's a brown dog and a white dog. Is the doll brown though? If it was blue and she called it her blue doll, would it be an issue? Children are simple and see the world as is. It's white guilt that makes people overthink stuff like this. Yes, she is not racist, she is 3. I did this as a child in the 80s in Ireland. My mother got so much grief over it. It was just awful. But I wanted a baby doll. And when I saw it, went nuts for it. My mother was pretty cool and took everyone on. Told them to mind their business what her daughter played with. People even stopped her in the street to comment. And I remember my granddad going nuts at her. When I look back now, I realize how much of a legend she was. I think I called mine something similar. He was my favorite doll, smiling face. She's just describing her doll as she sees it. My dad is Mexican and way darker than me. I used to tell people my dad is black when I was 45 because I thought it was cool, LMAO. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.